Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit that subscribe button if you're new so you don't miss any of our great football content this season. Okay, I'm reticent to talk about the Jets, but Dallas beats the Jets 37-22. I always judge.
I don't think it was that close either. When I
Oh
when I
God,
turned
no!
the game
It
on.
felt like 47-3. It was awful. I mean, it was 23-3 at half, and it wasn't that close.
No.
So the best drive of the day for the Jets, I think, was the first one where they settled for a field goal. It was like 11 plays. My takeaway has always been when a coach is hired, what's his side of the ball like? Their defense is bad, and it's gotten worse every week, it feels like. The second half was a 7-on-7 drill. It looked like one of those 7-on-7 college drills where you take a really good quarterback, in high school or college, and he just boom, boom, boom. Dak was terrific. Dak's having his best year as a pro because he's having to carry a team. And this isn't the Zeke top O-line in the league, Amari Cooper. That's not what this is. Without CeeDee Lamb, John, I'm not sure they have a definitive number two. Their tight end's probably a 2 to a 3 on most teams. Their running backs are absolutely 2s. The O-line's still in a semi-rebuild. Tyler Smith's great. But this is not an elite head coach. It's not an elite O-line. It's not an elite roster. I've been blown away by Dak. I've never thought this highly of Dak. I think, again, like Jalen Hurts, mature, head down, not highly emotional, an adult. Do I want to pay him what I'm paying him? You know what? Right now, Dak's worth his contract. He's worth it.
Yeah.
Could be the MVP.
I think what really puts the Jets into perspective is probably no one had a bigger question mark next to their name as a coach than Brian Schottenheimer. And you just said how you're defined as a coach, especially on a team that's not great. What does your side of the ball look like? Well, he's the offensive play caller, and they've been awesome all year long. And now they've lost one of the highest paid and best wide receivers in the league for several games. And like you said, George Pickens is a 2. And, Ferguson's solid. I mean, this isn't Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith walking through the door. And the offensive line is definitely a question mark. And the offense, listen, Brian Schottenheimer's kind of throwing it back to back in the day when he was declining head coaching interviews. Pretty good offensive coordinator. I kind of know what I'm doing. And I've been blown away. I mean, their team, they got the Packers got very lucky a week ago that ball didn't bounce in the air instead of hit the ground, or the Cowboys would be 3-1 right now? Or I guess they're 2-2. They'd be 3-2. Like, they would be just good. Like, there's be no disputing. Like, they're just a solid. Like, could they win 9 games?
And also, the weather in the Northeast and the North is beautiful. I was in Chicago over the week, and Chicago was like 80 degrees. So it's a good time to have a good quarterback in this league because you're not dealing, we're about 4 or 5 weeks out from it getting ugly. Dallas is built for good weather. They're built for domes. They don't have a number 1 receiver without CD, but they've got enough guys. It's funny. I was watching Justin Fields. He's never seen the field particularly well, and this coaching staff hasn't figured out that, listen, just use his legs. Just run him. Not 7-step drops don't work with him. I mean, multiple, and the Jets pass pro is awful. They can't pass protect at all. It's gotten worse. Again, the Jets are getting worse every week. I was reading a couple of the Jets beat reporters, and they're like, okay, I've covered 300 games. This is Rich Kotite. I mean, this is how bad this team is. And we're at week 5. I mean, it's not like they're everybody's beat up, but Justin Fields has had 3 defensive head coaches, and he's just not good enough. If you give him McVay, maybe he would have gotten a second decent contract, but he's just, he's the classic athlete, not a quarterback. So, but the fact that he was with Pittsburgh, who couldn't run the ball, struggled with their offensive line. But last year, I think he was he 4-2, or he had a pretty good record early, and you looked at Justin and you're like, oh, he could get another contract. Pittsburgh got rid of him. Pittsburgh went with old Aaron Rodgers. Because if you go back and if you remember Justin's numbers in Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin replaced him with Russell Wilson. We were all like, Justin's actually, extrapolate those numbers out, he'd be like a 9-10 win quarterback. Well, Pittsburgh moves off him. It shows you the difference between a Steeler team last year that struggled offensively and how bad the coaching and the infrastructure is with the Jets, because Fields looks completely over his skis.
Yeah, I mean, I get that maybe they were bidding against some other. I thought giving him 2 years and $40 million and 30 guaranteed based on his history was pretty insane. Like to
Yeah.
me, he felt like a 1 year, $7 million quarterback just to kind of get you through your year one as a coach. I do believe though they came in like I understood extending Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a starter on any team.
Yep. Yep.
We've seen good wide receivers on shitty teams. It's hard to play when no one gets you the quarterback gets you the ball. Sauce Gardner, if you just ask people around the league or just watch football, to me is living off a reputation from several years ago. And as a
Yeah.
wise man told me in the league, said, you know what changed last year, John? Why he had such a bad season? They started not allowing him to just commit pass interference every play. He
Yeah.
is not Deion Sanders or Revis in terms of a foot athlete. He is a long corner, like Richard Sherman. Well, Richard Sherman is a physical player, like a linebacker, one of the great hitting and tackling corners in league history.
Yeah.
Sauce doesn't want to tackle and has elite ball skills. Sauce does not either. They gave him $100 million, Colin. They had never even coached him. So they came in, they had some sexy names, and now you're kind of stuck with a guy like that, not making any plays, does nothing for your team. It's not like he's a winning player. And there's no court, like there's not a savior coming in this draft, it looks like. You're an unwatchable team. Like that's when the Saints, they've been bad. I've watched the Saints 3 or 4 times. They're actually kind of entertaining.
Spencer Rattler is kind of getting there.
Kellen Moore can call some plays. You're like, okay, listen, we're not that talented. At least our head coach brings something to the table. Aaron Glenn, I have a lot of respect for what he did last year with the Lions.
Yeah.
I would say this about the Jets, and I'd even throw the Raiders in there with my guy Spytek and Pete Carroll. There are a couple franchises that are just hard to overcome. That they've been taking down everyone for a long time now. And maybe these guys, Brady and kind of that crew in Vegas, it is not an overnight fix. And there is an ethos and just like a culture that is permeated through the building and the walls. And the Jets and the Raiders, it's hard to shake because guys leave you, they excel. You bring guys in, they get worse. You bring incredible coaches or young energy, it still looks the same. And I'm watching the Jets and the Raiders, and I just go, God, these teams are they're terrible. I mean, they feel like they have no hope. The rosters are bad. The Cowboys, I mean, when Dak Prescott's looking like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning in his prime against you with no CeeDee Lamb, I mean, this is a pretty low point. I mean, and the Giants now feels like they're not very good again. Dark gave them a little hope. It's like, God, the New York teams and the Yankees are getting killed. You better hope Mike Brown coach up the Knicks,
Yeah, it's interesting. The one franchise in New York that isn't impatient, that doesn't blow it up, is the Yankees. It's also easily the most successful franchise, and all they get is heat from their fans. And, Cashman's been there 30 years. I think 8 years for Aaron Boone. But their take is, the upstairs sets the lineup. It's analytics. The Yankees don't make moves. They're patient to a fault. Yeah. The truth is, if Garrett Cole was healthy, they'd have a chance to get, to the American League Championship Series. I'm not sure they have the pitching. They've gotten boxed in back-to-back games by Toronto.
Jeez, killed.
Yeah. So, New York is its own animal.